Hey, you guys, welcome to James C. Starke Radio. As always, we have all kinds of fun and interesting things happening here. Today, I have a real special treat for you guys. I have a real fun guy here, also has his own show. He's a wonderful musician. He's a local enthusiast, and he's also a show host himself. And he does great things for us. Oh, this buildup is killing me. You guys welcome my very good friend, Aaron Acero from the Azlocal show.
Hello, everybody.
Dude, it's great to have you here.
Thank you, Jim. I really appreciate being here. I'm really excited to talk about my show. I'm feeling really vain today, so...
Not only are we going to talk about your show, we're going to talk about you.
Yeah, I'm loving the vanity. I usually have to interview other people and build the whole show to talk about other people, so I'm excited to kind of blush on myself for a little bit.
I'm excited to have you on here because no one knows your story. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people who know the Azlocal show, which you've got great following. They know that show, but they don't know the other parts of Aaron like I do, like the musician in him and all the cool things he does behind the scenes and how he helps other people too. So let's get started here first. Number one, if you've watched his show, he looks like he's been doing this for 30 years. He's got it down. He's very professional. But the kid is only, and I'm going to say it, he's only 32 years old.
Ow!
Yes,
Ow.
man.
Hold yourself back, ladies. Hold yourself back.
Yes, I know. Look at this. Oh, he's got the dark skin, the mustachio. He's with that Spaniard-looking, the conquistador.
Yeah. But no, I appreciate that. It's been a lot of fun. Everything's always a learning process. I always look at anything and everything as a snowball. As long as you keep pushing it and you have the end result in mind, but don't let it get you discouraged because you're going to start with a small snowball. It just
let's not jump ahead yet because that's great advice for the kids, man, that are coming up. But let's talk about how this started, dude. Okay. I know you've told me. I know Grandma had a big influence on this one. I know you were the musician first. Let's start there. What started you on this whole path? What was day one for you even getting into music?
Day one was I have an older brother, and on our mom's side, our grandma is a musician. She's a beautiful singer, guitarist. And when we were younger, I was 8, my older brother was about 9, maybe 10. She was teaching him guitar, and it made me super jealous being a little kid. And so I went to my grandma on my dad's side, and I was like, buy me a guitar. So a couple months later, it was Christmas, and
was it that simple? Buy me a guitar, and you just jumped? How many lawns did you have to mow?
I'm sure there was some more stuff behind it, but yeah, that's my grandma. I love her to death. She's amazing. She's always been amazing to me, but
Dad bought you the guitar. Yeah, Grandma taught you how to play it.
So then I just kind of took a couple years of lessons.
Do you remember your first teacher's name?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Gosh,
you know what?
Even not my first one. Like my first 3, I can't remember. I can tell you what they look like and what they were to me, but I cannot remember their names.
You know what? After about 2 years, I guess I had a really big head, and I was like, all right, I'm done. And then I started learning punk music, and I was just ruined for a couple years.
Well, there you go. That's perfect. You got the big head all swollen. Now you got something to say. Go right to the punk scene.
Then I got all the attitude.
You do whatever you want there and get it off your chest. And that's
the punk scene definitely.
God love them because that's like therapy for everybody. No matter how bad things are going, no matter where your career is doing, jump into the punk scene, lay it all out, say what you're pissed off about, and you'll have a hit, man, because everybody can relate.
What I loved about the punk scene, especially as a little 12, 13-year-old kid, was the unity. I still have a lot of friends to this day that I made going to my first couple of punk shows as a little kid, and that was amazing. Just meeting kids from other schools and just having this familiarity when we'd meet and be like, oh yeah, this you like that,
another rebel,
and then
another rebel.
That's really honestly, I want to say why another drive in the show is just like a lot of people, especially.
Now, I don't mean to cut you up, but I have to say this about the punk scene. This is really funny. This is probably going to piss off another scene, but say what it is because I ain't from that other scene. But you do click up as you're growing up, and you've got the preppy, the jock, the punkers, the rockers, the nerds. You got all that stuff, and it's funny because in part of our lives, we've all been part of one of those classes. Even if it was for 5 minutes, we were either dating someone in another class we weren't supposed to be in, or we were a friend of one, or somehow we can relate with all of them. But you and I know we come from that more of that misfit that punk scene there. No matter who brought us up on the music, that's just where we wound up. But here's the funny part. I'll notice that in certain cliques that no matter how hard things goes, it just becomes about me. Sorry, I gotta go. But in the punk, the metal scene, the really hardcore stuff, when you walk in, everybody's in leather and this and they all looking tough. That's just the face. That is the safest crowd. And those are the most people that never turn their back on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were always there. They always supported. It's like we all understood that we were rebels and kind of like the outcasts or the misfits. But the more I think about it now, I don't think we were the outcasts at all. I think we were the majority. And I think everybody else was hiding. You know, I just had to throw that out there. I'm probably going to get a little backlash, but it was worth that.
No, for sure. No, I'm
still to this day. I can still walk into something like that. I watch a friend that's never been in there. You walk in, like, oh my god, these people are going to stab me or kill me. And it's like, why? Well, look at them, man. They're all so tough looking and this and that. I'm like, dude, you don't understand. It takes 4 more hours to explain why, but inside that is this big heart of gold. This is the safest place you can be in. Honest to God, it is. And they're the most loving people, the most caring people, and they really give a shit about each other. They really do. So I classify us as the misfits, but misfits rule.
Yeah.
You know? So, anyways, back to your story. I'm so sorry to cut that
out. No.
I want to explain that because I want people to know that that's part of you. You know?
For sure.
Just one part of you.
Just to add to that, I mean, it's basically what I was saying. Is it really showed me, you know, going to shows is really fun, and if you like music and keep broadening those styles, you're going to find people that are like-minded and you're going to enjoy those shows. And I just feel like that's almost an issue nowadays. There's a lot of creature comforts at home, and I completely understand that. Everything's
let's
at home.
talk about that.
So it's kind of tough for people to go out, and I really, that's, you know, the heart of the show is to, like, if you go to a show, it's going to be fun and you're going to meet people that you could be best friends with the rest of your life.
That's right. Being approachable is a big thing, and that's one thing that you definitely are. And you're a very approachable person, no matter if it's with your show or you as a musician. The last time I saw you play was at our buddy's birthday party, and everybody was playing that night. But it was weird because not no one, but a lot of people don't know you as that musician. And here you are with your camera on. Like you and I did a little interview that night. You were interviewing everybody. You were having a really good time there. And then you jumped behind the guitar. And man, it got quiet really quick. It was like, what? I thought the dude just held the camera and looked nice on film. And here you are shredding it. But, you know, some of us knew that secret, but you really laid it down that night, which is really cool. So that's a whole other part of you. And I know we're talking about that part right now, but it's funny because I keep saying that because I knew you first as the media guy. You know, as Aaron in the Azlocal show before I even knew you as a musician. That's cool. Yeah. That came later, and it was like, wow, you have just as much heart into both of them, so it's cool.
No, it's great. I'm really grateful because honestly, for so long it was the band thing and being on that side of it, and you know, every once in a while you go to a show and be like, oh, you're in that band, but now
and he sings too. Sorry,
a little bit. Yeah,
he does hold the tune. He
does. But nowadays, it's really nice if I go to a show, people are like, oh, Azlocal show. You know, like, if I interview people, like, you know, 2 out of 5 people will know me from the Azlocal show, which is...
And it's a nice feeling.
It's the most heart-melting thing for me. I can't tell you, it makes me want to cry sometimes thinking about it. Because I literally put so much fucking work into this show.
You do, man. And, you know, if you guys haven't seen it, please look. He's got tons of them. On YouTube, it's
Azlocal show.
Just Azlocal show, just straight up, right?
Yeah, across the board. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, all of it. Again, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
That's it.
They're on, you're on like, dude, you're on like every freaking day almost.
That's the thing.
And you do some really cool stuff. You guys have to watch it. It's nothing like my shows at all. I talk to the guys, we interview, we talk about their music. Oh man, Aaron, man, he's got like, you know, Family Feud happening one day, kind of thing. You know, we're guessing shit on videos. I love the thing when you had the band sitting there watching the other band's videos, and then you would question them about the video. But the questions you were giving them weren't like, all right, what chord is he hitting here? What word? It was like, what color were the bass player's sunglasses?
Yeah,
you know, I loved it. But you really you have something so special there. It's so different. Like. Not only, like, I like to bring people behind the scenes, but you really bring them into, like, we're not even musicians anymore. Let's, like, really see who these kids are, where they come from, where this influence comes from, where their inspiration comes from. And you bring that out. And, dude, you're 32. You started as a musician. but you've come into this media world with such a, I don't know, such a fresh, different, and it's always different. Like, you even interviewed yourself one time. It was funny on the split screen that I thought was great. And then and another thing, like, I can't say, I know I'm rambling, but the other day somebody put up that thing. How cool would this be with a green screen behind it? And dude, within like 10 seconds or 10 minutes, your response, and here you get the flames going behind everything, and you're like, oh, I don't know who, it was so cool, but you're having a good time. Whatever you said was funny, but you know what I mean. It's so fun.
Yeah.
But you've done so many different things. You've done some great interviews, but like I said, you always twist it up. There's something funny. Like the first time you asked me if you can interview me for something, and you know me, I never give up the personal crap at all. But you had no intentions of even going there. You're like, no, I'm going to ask you these crazy questions. And I was laughing. It was great. That had nothing to do with anything. It was just like, who's the person? I don't give a crap about the musician or this guy. Who's this guy? It's like you're that perfect like dude. Give you a microphone and a cameraman, put you on the streets for a week, and oh man, you would have killed all of Leno's guys on the streets. You would have killed Letterman's dudes, everybody's, man. It was just killer the way you do this.
Yeah, the crowd interviews I do love, and I appreciate you acknowledging that, because I love.
I have to as one of you, dude, and I got 20 years on you. But you act like the way your shows come off seriously. It's like we're looking at you like you've been around here forever, and we're like, man, we can't steal that because it's his. But man, he's giving us ideas. He gives us inspiration. Let's put it that way, because it's every day it's something different. You sent me things in my messenger like, dude, can you give me a couple answers for this? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And the last second, I'm like, no way. And then I wind up not doing it. Then I watch what you've done with it, and I'm like, oh, why didn't I do that? Because I thought you were doing something so crazy. And I jump off cliffs all the time, but I'm thinking, oh, no, what's he going to do here? And I'll chicken out. Not because I don't believe in you. I just chicken out because I don't know what you're about to do to me. But I really don't care now. And I love the alien face you put up on me the other day, too, and it bugged my eyes.
Oh, the Buscemi eyes. Yeah,
that was great.
I was trying to get the whole entire music scene, really. Yeah.
Dude, you nailed him with that one. That was great. It was like,
you know what? It's over time I just realized that nobody likes a commercial. I don't like commercials. So
I hate commercials.
You have to attack advertising from a new way, and those Buscemi eyes posting on people's pages is just another way of advertising me and advertising what I do. And
if you the funny part how you got it, if you cover up the rest of the face and you just put the eyes on there, you can pretty much match those with just about anybody in town here and make that same goofy thing.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know I keep rambling again because I get so excited to have you guys like you on here. All right, Grandma made you the musician.
Right.
We're gonna get to what made you into the media guy here, but there's one little thing we have to do, that we have to cross a bridge first. And you did something very different that I've never heard of anybody do. You did some cover songs. Not only did you did 100 cover songs, and you didn't do them of any national act at all. You took the actual Arizona locals and the ones that had videos and songs out on CD and this and shit, and you covered the local band's music and 100. And dude, you covered like everything from metal to rap to swing to hip hop to country.
Yeah.
What sparked that? What lit that fuse? That was so cool.
Yeah.
And I know you learned so much, and you really that was probably the best way. And dude, actually, brilliant, genius, accident or not, what a way to really dive into the heart of where the sound comes from Arizona.
Yeah.
I mean, 100 bands. There's like about 1,600 functional bands right now. When I say functional, I mean out playing and this and that throughout the entire state. There's probably triple that are still wood chipping or wood shedding and chipping away and getting it down. So there's always this overflow. Plus, you see guys that have one band's ended, and now you see all these new ventures coming out from the guys that have stopped one band, and we got new things going. There's all this crap playing, but you only hit 100 of them. But you hit like the right 100 to do this, and it gave you not only an education, because I know you told me you learned so much from that.
Yeah.
But you really got to the foundation of where the Arizona music comes from. How did this start? What sparked that, dude?
Well, yeah, that was at my peak of being a guitarist and a musician, and me just having that drive that musicians have. You know, I really had the end goal of being a studio guitarist, where Ashley Simpson needs a.
I got a lot of friends that do that are
just
living
go
in a lot bigger houses, eating a lot better food, and doing everything else, and nobody knows who they are. But
exactly, that's what it is.
They're making more money than we are.
You're making money. So that's exactly what my intentions with it was, and I knew a lot of local bands, and I wanted to get my ear better as far as learning songs. It was really built for Instagram, so I would maybe cover at the most a minute long of a local band, but I was literally finding bands that had music online, purchasing the songs, 100 songs, learning those songs by ear, and then posting them within a week. So that really, really not only taught me about video editing, but keeping a schedule, maintaining a regular consistency as far as that schedule goes. And it taught me so much, not just with music, but with media, and that's really what laid my foundation with learning video work for Easy Local Show.
If we look, but we're going to get right into that next too. But if we look back, you did that quite a while ago with those 100 bands, and now so many things have changed and the bands have changed. But back then when you're doing that, can you remember what was one of the hardest challenges covering those bands? Do you have anyone that you still think about that was your hardest one? Oh, for sure.
My top two. Apparitions, which is an insanely amazing metal band. It was insanely hard to learn that part. I actually had
What song was it?
Jeez. Oh, I can't remember.
Some Apparitions. I know we can find this though.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the actual song, the name of the song.
But Apparitions is one.
Yeah, Apparitions was a metal band. Yeah, that was definitely super hard. And Captain Squeegee, I learned it's their claymation video. Oh, geez, it's a great song too. It's my favorite song for them. But that was also really difficult, and that was just I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah, you guys understand. Aaron's not having. He didn't forget the song because he forgot it. Because as soon as we go to the next subject, he's going to remember it. He's a musician too at heart. Don't forget that. So we all are. And as artists, our minds are going so fast and so hard. There's so many things on his head right now because he knows I'm going to barrage him with a bunch more questions. So he doesn't know where it's coming from. But no, seriously, he's got when I can ask him his favorite band, and 1,000 are going to hit his head right off the bat, and it's going to take him an hour to get through that to do it. So that's why. But he remembers the name of the band, so the song no problem. But if you look it up, just check them out on any of the
if you look up the hashtag,
you'll see it.
Hashtag AZ Local Cover, and you'll see 101 of those covers. And
hashtag AZ Local Cover.
AZ Local Cover.
I did. Look it up.
Yeah, Alice Cooper to the smallest chiptune one-man band I could find. But it was all local Arizona-based bands, and it was a lot of fun and taught me a bunch.
Now, where was our... You guys got to look it up. AZ Local Cover. I'm telling you, check it out. Okay, now check this out. I keep telling everybody we're going to get there. Now we're there. Now we've been the musician. We've done the covers. We've done all this stuff. We got a great education music-wise, obviously, because we've covered everybody now. Now you've broken into, I want to make videos, interview bands. I want to do all this stuff. You went in video instead of podcast. Was there a reason why, or did video just happen first? Did Grandma buy you a camera? No, I'm just kidding because she wants you the guitar. But what got you into this then? And what was the transformation?
Working at Band Oasis was what pretty much started.
James, Donna, hello, Dakota.
They're great.
Band Oasis is wonderful.
Always appreciate the platform they provided for me to do starting off with the show. And it really just started off as an advertisement. Like I was saying, I don't like commercials. Nobody likes commercials. So it was the hidden advertisement for Band Oasis. There would be this band. At the end of the interview, I'd show them playing in the room, and it'd all be centered around Band Oasis, and they'd be quick to share it later. So it was all about Band Oasis in the beginning, and so I'm really thankful for them and that opportunity they presented with that. But
what was the switch though that caused you to go into it?
To stay into video, I've always felt the show was only video. I don't see it being a podcast just because of the games. And I just needed something new. I was finishing up the covers. I hit that 100 mark. I didn't really feel like continuing it more. I felt like it made its mark as far as what that was. And I was kind of just looking for the new opportunity. And,
that's the one I came up.
The planet's just aligned.
The planet's
just aligned.
You dodged the bus one day and had an epiphany.
I was already, like I said, talking to bands. I was like, man, this would be really fun. And like I said, with the covers, I was already networked enough where I was able to display the work properly social media wise, and then have bands psyched about it the next round and keep building this snowball, like I was saying.
Now, you do some amazing stuff visually, dude. Your videos are so cool. You do have just your normal everyday. We can just chill out and, like we're watching the Bunkers back in the day. We're comfortable and we can watch them on the couch. And you have some straight things, but then you go like off the wall and do some crazy crap. Like I was saying, you interviewed yourself on that one. It was just a real fun one. That was great. You split the screen. And that had to take a while because I've done that in the past where I actually had a stage show. And you guys, you're totally free to steal this idea. I'm sure I'll do it again. Yeah. But at one time I took, and I'm surprised I haven't seen you do this yet. On stage I had 8, and this is back when we had VCRs. I had 8 television screens on the stage with me. And they were all a different person. It was all me on each screen. But I had the timing down, so I'd have to hit this remote to talk to myself to do the monologue with this one, and then go to this one with this, or dialogue rather, not my monologue, but the dialogue. And the whole show was like that. And then I actually did play a song. It was actually a play, but at the very end I did one song that we all sang together too. But I had to have my friends sitting there in the front row. I just take the remotes, and it was like on a count of 3 and hope to God that we hit them at the same time. There was one night it didn't quite work, but we had a nice echo effect, so it worked. Nice. But it was funny doing that. But when I see you doing this with the split screen, that's what it reminded me of right away. And I know how much of a pain in the ass it is to do what I did on 8 of them.
Yeah.
And you did on 1, but the difference is yours looked like it was a more pain in the ass because, like, you had it so synced up. Like, when I was on stage, I'd look to the left and forget, oh, shit, that was the TV to the right. But it worked live because it was like, oh, duh. And I looked over here like you tapped me on the shoulder. But you don't miss a beat on yours.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are making eye contact. You're doing this and that. So I don't know if you had I'm not even going to say. I'm going to guess a few things, but don't even give it up because that's your secret. I'm going to guess either you were looking in a mirror and you were mentally telling your lines, or you had somebody saying the lines, or you laser beamed it like I've done before, or you did a few things. But whatever, and even if it was none of those, then we're going to keep it between us because you nailed that. But you do some cool stuff. The video, like when you had the band come in and guessing, like we talked about earlier, about guessing what was happening in the video. They're waiting for the music, and you ask them what color glasses the bass player wearing. Yeah. Things like that. You've really taken it up to this stuff. And dude, I know your ideas because you've sent me some ideas you've had going, you want to jump in on this, or what do you think about this? And I'm like, oh man, go for it. And you just, dude, you're like putty, man. Like for the whole scene, you're willing to try anything. But I love how you do like the game show feel, or you do just these crazy questions. The one time you nailed me at that play, you got me a few times, but the one time you nailed me there, it's like, let me get a quick interview from you. And you know me, I always panic right away. Where are we going with this? Because we know our buddy Jimmy Lee Boggs. Hey, EasyRadio.live, we love you. Jimmy, oh man, those scissors, I'm still going to get you for those scissors, Jimmy. He knows what I'm talking about, so half of them. But he'll get me with questions like that when we're live right on the spot. But I don't, oh my God, it kills me because... All right, so all these crazy things that he does, you do. But where do you come up with your crazy ideas? I mean, to me, sometimes it looks like we're hitting up old Saturday cartoon reruns, or we're hitting up the old DC Comics. But on top of that, we're going back to the MTV interviews with Ricky Rocket. It's like you throw those 3 elements together and you come up with this crazy thing that you're going to do with this band today.
Yeah.
And you take them into a world that they would never be in. Out of their artistic thing, out of their writing thing, out of their music thing, and you bring the people out in them. What brought that in? First of all, where do these ideas come from? But where did your idea come from to just make them regular people instead of the characters that they play?
Well, yeah.
Because that was genius, dude.
No, yeah.
I gotta say, that's brilliant. No one's ever done that.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to make the show more fast-paced, more fun. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on other interview shows.
Oh no, you never do. No, not at all. You just, that's the one thing I got to say, Aaron, you are a class act all the way. You just do things so out of the box and so different. That's what blows me away about you.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm asking, like, was there anything you ever saw or did this? And I know you're not going to trash anybody. I know you better than that personally. You don't even have that in you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is, on other interview shows, it's usually just just the interview with the band, which is fine, and I like that stuff. But I'm trying to, reach everyone and make it more fun and human for everybody. My biggest influence is definitely Andy Cohen on Bravo.
Oh, dude.
It's a lot of people might not know about him, but if you watch Desperate Housewives, my fiance's all about it. I hate the show; it's terrible. But Andy Cohen does.
Look who it's appealing to. It appeals to the right thing. But Andy is his own world, dude. Go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. You're on something.
He does his little show that's 30 minutes, and it's amazing. It's entertaining as shit. He plays little games with the people that he has on, and that's literally one of my biggest motivations. That and Conan O'Brien. I just wanted this really fun show for everybody, so bands can get new audiences, not just the people they already have.
In my opinion, there is nothing more interesting and more fun than to see the artist, the musician, the actor, whoever it is, out of their element that we're used to seeing them in. They're off the screen. They're not doing a little fundraiser. They're not preparing the speech, and they're totally into they're chopping onions, or they're making a pizza,
right.
Or like you've got them guess what was on this video thing, or I keep going back to that one. That one just tickled me because the band, when I was watching them, they were like so into like, okay, what chord is he playing? What's this? He's going to ask me about the lyrics or this and that. And dude, you just totally nailed them and went CSI on them. You went crime scene. We didn't care about what chords they were playing. I want to see what caused the murder thing. What color was his glasses? What kind of? How was his shoes tied? Was it right over left, or did the rabbit go around the hole and then whatever? It was cool that way. So I just think it's great how you pull this out, and everybody loves that. Like I said, there's nothing more than I love than to go behind scenes and see what the real people are. Now, I've worked with so many celebrities growing up. Everybody knows who my mom was, and I love dropping this joke. My mom's the president of the DEA, guys. Yep, she is. Now, half of our audience just started stashing all their stash. The Dance Educators of America, DEA, guys, just to let you know. Not the bad one, okay? We're all 420 friendly around here. Anyway, but it was funny growing up with Mom. She worked with all these celebrities and did all this crap. So growing up with them was great. And I got to grow up seeing them behind the scenes like that.
Yeah.
So we're also used to seeing them up in front and what they are, but you brought that back. And that hasn't been out since like Dick Clark and Johnny Carson were doing that back in the day, and
that's awesome, man. Appreciate that.
You're bringing that back again, and that's just amazing. And sorry, Mom, about that plug, but I love when my friends' hair stands up on the back of their neck and they all start scrambling. I love those 3 letters. It's great. But I get it. Yeah, it's like, don't ask me to work on your car. Don't ask me to do this and that. But I can fix your instrument and I can play it. Yeah. Just that kind of crap. Dude, you got this down.
We're a fortunate society, and I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of people, I feel like nowadays, claim to be like depressed, and it's okay to be bummed out and feel lost. But I feel like a lot of people need to realize the opportunities that are presented to them on a daily basis, and that's exactly what YouTube is for me. It's this opportunity to create something that I'm extremely proud of and extremely passionate about.
Now I know this has happened to you, but I want to share it with everybody. When you step away from just being the musician, and you get into helping all the other musicians, every day you wake up to a new adventure. Mm-hmm. And there's a new opportunity. There's a new video you can show. There's a new video you can shoot. Yeah. There's another interview you can do. There's more fun out there. So it's just a lot of fun. How is that? How did you? I know you're still a musician. Don't get me wrong, but it almost seems like that's your hobby now, compared to this, to where. You were the musician 100% at one time, and this wasn't even existing. Yeah. Now you've done this and started helping others, and it seems like that your heart and your goals of helping everybody have become your entire obsession.
Oh, for sure.
But you haven't lost a lick as being a musician, so I didn't want to put that down.
No, I'll be the first to admit it.
Aaron will be on my next album, by the way, you guys, so you know.
Not at all. No,
he won't.
I'll be the first to admit.
He's too busy. He can't do it, yeah.
I'll be the first to admit I'm not a musician. I'm someone that plays music, and I totally accept that, and that's not a bad thing. I love playing music. But I know musicians. I know people that dedicate their fucking entire life to it. And I don't want to... I have so much respect and love for the art that I would hate to insult them by calling myself a musician.
Well, no, that's how you relate, though, because you are a musician also. If you were just a reporter or this and that or some guy with the show, then you would be jumping. That's how I fall in love with these guys too.
I'm an entertainer. Well, that's what I claim now, and that's how I relate. And like I said,
I feel the same way with myself. I don't try to claim anything else other than I just want to make people happy, and I get it. But the point I'm making is that the angle that is nice about you, that you do have the end, and I feel the same way, is that we are musicians. You're musicians, so we understand what they want and what they need and what their goals are, what their needs are, and what they're going through psychologically and all that crap to be in that point. So it definitely gives me a one up. Yeah, it definitely have a big one. Yeah, and
it definitely gives me a one up as far as experience and certain questions I should be asking. But yeah, it's never ending. With the newer season, I would love to keep branching out.
What are some of your goals that are coming up here? I know we've talked about a few things you're going to start doing, but share with us what are some of the things that are upcoming? What are your new goals?
Just to keep making it bigger and better. One of my biggest goals, first and foremost, is to get better miking equipment. I feel like that's the one area that I'm kind of lacking with the show, but it's a great world nowadays. There's so many options, and if you know what you're doing and you're creative enough, you can get away with a lot with very little. So yeah, the miking for sure. I want to.
Here's the funny part, and I gotta put this out there. You have such a confidence in you, which I love, and it's not an arrogance at all, because if you guys, just the one thing you can't do is see his face in the podcast, but he's very so humble right now. Miking is his only issue on the show. Think about it. Think about what he just said. That's his only issue that he's concerned about. If you guys have seen it and heard it, it still sounds wonderful, but that's the perfectionist in Aaron.
Right.
And here's the funny part. He's not bitching about the miking that he sounds like. I'm sure he's complaining because he doesn't feel who he's interviewing sounds loud enough or sounds thick enough or sounds this, because that's the kind of guy he is. Am I right?
Especially with the bands. I want to keep doing the bands justice because I want to include band performances, and that's really what the show is about. Is including that at the end and highlighting the band and their live performance and getting people stoked on not only them as people and getting to know them, who's behind the musician, but at the very end they get that taste of who these people are and what they're accomplishing.
Yes.
So yeah, I already have, I got a steady cam, which is great, but I want to have, better, even more lights, better lighting, better mics to capture what it is that they're producing in the best light possible.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
That is great. What, do we have anybody coming up that we should look forward to seeing on the show? Wait. Actually, you're just finishing up a season here,
exactly.
too.
Yeah. Season 2.
Let's talk about that, and then I know you were going to take a little vacation so we can prep for the next one.
Yeah.
But what's happening? What's going on with season 2 here that you can finish up?
First and foremost, I want to thank my fiance for. I literally worked so hard on the show, and
anybody that can put up with an artist has my blessings.
She
oh my
puts
goodness!
Up with a lot. Like I said, it's a passion, and a lot of the times when you're starting off with a passion, it's not a monetary gain, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm not hating on it because I do love it and it's work, but
it's a passion though. It's something that is you're driven to. It's
not everybody can understand it.
You can't, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's something that we live and die for. It's oxygen for us. And I know for you especially, Aaron. I know you live and die on that next pitch.
Yeah.
You're like, is he going to hit the homer? Is he going to swing and miss? I mean, what's going to happen next? Here's something fun. Just for the hell of it, we could take like maybe 2 months, and everybody can just add $1 to their ticket price for 2 months. And what we could do at the end of those 2 months, we'll put all that money together, and we'll send Aaron's love and everybody else's love that puts up with us. We'll pick like 12 of you girls, and we'll send you on a cruise for like 12 days that you guys can go get pampered on and everything else, and just get away from our craziness for a few days.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we should have it. Hey, I'm hearing benefit show from somebody. Yeah. Here's the funny part. I know we're laughing about it, but I promise you within 24 hours, someone's going to have something up. Like, let's do it. But you guys do need a break, because being with a musician is, or any type of an artist, because what you're doing, Aaron, is an art. It is definitely an art.
Right.
And to do this and have to deal with an artist, we're very temperamental. We're very emotional. We're very touchy. It takes very thick skin for us to do our job, but it takes even thicker skin for you to love us the way that you do.
Right.
So thank you, and you deserve at least a cruise. And maybe we should start at least some gift cards, for a couple nights Cheesecake Factory or something once a month for these gals. But you guys deserve it. But anyway, back to this. Just had to throw it out there so you do know we love you guys. We really, without you, we wouldn't. Really, without them, we wouldn't be halfway where we were. They really.
She
do,
definitely motivates me to be a better person
they keep
and
us out there.
get things great. That's always the number one. And honestly, one of my biggest motivations in life is to be great and keep doing better for myself. So that's why the show, I want to keep getting better and greater. I'm happy to be releasing the season 2 and take a vacation here pretty soon.
All right, so you are like the busiest man. Other than myself, I'm only kidding. No, the only reason is that I just love it. I'm like you. We can't bypass an opportunity when it comes to helping somebody out or putting that name out there. We got to do it. That's our job, man. It's not like how do I put it? We're not forced to do this. It's just something that's in us that we just love to do. There's a lot of enthusiasts that do things like this.
Right.
Larry King is another one that helps us. Jimmy Lee Boggs, we talked about, does this. And we have some other friends. But here's the deal. You work so darn hard, dude. You really put forth so much of an effort, and you're finally going to take a break for a little bit. Thank goodness. So what's going to happen during this break? Are you going to go on a nice little retort? I know you're going to start planning. I know only half of this break is going to be your break because I know you're not going to be able to have your break until you figure out what's going to happen next season.
Right.
So I know the first half is pretty much going to be that. The second couple weeks or month will be you actually relaxing. So what's going to happen during this? Do you have any plans? Where are you going to go? How do we do this? Because I'm asking you because I'm going to need one soon too. So I'm trying to get some advice here.
I'm really excited. Literally this morning, my fiance and I reserved our little hotel in Culebra, which is a little island off of Puerto Rico.
Beautiful.
That'll be in May. But yeah, I'm going to be living it up. I'm probably going to be taking at least 4, maybe 5 months off, just to kind of chill out, reap the benefits of my fruit here, and just sit back and enjoy going to shows. I want to play more local shows. This is my little loop pedal that I do. I do little loop pedal performances with my guitar.
I love that, by the way.
I want to do those.
That is so cool.
But yeah, just kind of sit back and relax, think of more ideas. I want to focus more on sketches and because I always do the little sketches before episodes. And I just want to make those bigger and better.
Those are a lot of fun. Oh my god!
And it's just that cool. Something that really makes the show unique.
Really quick too, not to throw you off. You talk about the loop and the pedaling. Sam Ansel is a really good friend of mine who does a lot of that with C Music, and he's always looking for someone that's got his craziness and willingness to do that to join him. And I know Muck Anthony LeBougan just jumped in with him to do that. But you would be, I didn't even think about that. You would be such a perfect fit with that group. Oh my God, because you guys all do that. Anyways, back to your thing. I didn't mean to cut you out, but I had to throw them out there because that was
it's fun.
Because there's only a few of you guys that do that.
Yeah.
And Muck doesn't even do that, but he does a little different thing, but now Sam's got him doing that with him. But you've been doing that forever, man, and you've got it down to a science with the way you do this. So it's really cool. If you guys don't understand what I mean, it's a loop program to where he can literally on stage while you're watching him compose and write an entire freaking orchestra. I mean, he can go on and on using one instrument. And it just loops over and things do. Oh, it's so cool. I'm not even going to give it up. I'm just going to say, because I'm going to talk him into doing this live again one of these days.
I've definitely learned a lot using that. It's really fun because nowadays I
still use it on my keyboards.
Nowadays when I do it, I'll usually lay down a rhythm and then I'll kind of do some slapping on the pickups and just to create like a little rhythm, like just a little shit like that, just to keep the movement going.
Oh, and here's a great thing for the newbies coming up when we're trying to work out all these rhythms and stuff before we go into the studio and waste all our time in there. You can get these little loops going, throw it on behind you, and save your band hours, save everybody else hours. You guys know the deal. We don't just come to band practice to rehearse then. You know you need to practice at home all week before you come to band practice, so you have everything prepared for band practice. But these are some of the tools you can use at home, is putting on those loops with the backbeats. There's even programs you can download that have hit pads that you can create one just to give you some kind of a metronome to play with, so you can come up with ideas over ideas. You can put down a bass track behind it, another guitar track behind it. Aaron could probably freaking put out an entire seminar class for this and show you guys how to just be a one-man orchestra for this crap. But I'm just telling you, things like this are great influences. And I was going to ask you, what kind of things do you have, if you had any ideas or any kind of knowledge you can pass down to the younger bands coming up and trying to learn music or trying to get into even the video and audio and the media stuff you're doing. Do you have any? Oh,
definitely. The biggest thing that I can pass on to people is skill and opportunity. If you don't have the skill, the opportunity will never come.
Okay, now take this out. Here's what they get. This is what they're afraid of. How do I get that skill? I'm just sitting here behind my computer and I have no idea. I know what I want to do, but how do I do it? Should I go to school? Should I download YouTube videos? Should I grab my camera and improvise? What should I do?
Well, if they don't have the motivation to figure that one out, then I hate to say it, then they're not going to be able to do it on their own, because they're looking for answers rather than making those answers.
Dude, that is the greatest answer I've ever heard.
Right?
Oh my God, that was great. Figure it out.
I think
you know what? You just nailed it, because, like I was saying before, there's no formula. There's no this. There's only imagination. If your imagination can't figure out how to pull it off, why should you give it up for them? Okay, I get that. Yeah. Okay, that really is. That's the most honest answer I've ever had.
It really is. You know, I feel like
if you're going to sit there and ask everybody else for the answers, you're not going to have anything that's going to be unique to you.
I think a lot of people need to realize it's plenty okay to make mistakes. Honestly, if you fail, you're going to learn so much better than the other person that didn't.
Every time you fail, you learn something. So call it I wouldn't say a failure, but a moment, an experience.
Yeah, it's a gift. It really is. It really is.
You do gain. I've gained so much more from failure. All the schooling, all the crap, everything that I went through. Honest to God, I'm not even pushing college or school or any kind of video shit on anybody, because I learned more falling on my ass trying to do things on my own that I ever learned in school or doing anything, and musically and video-wise, both ways. That was it.
Exactly.
You have to be different. You have
People
to be
just
different.
Need to realize it's okay to be lost, but as long as you stay motivated, things will work out.
Embrace your lost, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's the whole thing. Grab into that and realize you're a unique individual. Mm. So many things to learn from today. Aaron, this has been great. Tell me something. You and I are on the same page on this, but you have a great view on this. Why is it so much more amazing to go to a local band's performance than it is to go see a national act on a big stage?
A number of reasons. It's the same reason why someone prefers college basketball rather than the NBA.
Now, let's stop really quick, really fast. I just want to clear up something. This is not a jab over national acts at all. National acts, you are where you are. You did your time. You did it right. You're kicking ass. We still come to your shows and we love it. I'm just asking Aaron the importance of seeing that local band and why we love seeing that local act here instead of going to the national act.
I think something that people overlook is when you're in a band, it becomes a business. So when you see that national act, that's a company. You're seeing a product. And you know, they're great, and it's amazing to see what happens when something reaches that point.
Success, yes.
I love seeing that.
God bless them. They did kick ass.
They're working hard, and that's what they deserve. But I love seeing those people that have just been working their ass off at their 9 to 5, a job that they hate for the past month, and they've been looking forward to this show so badly.
The growth.
And they've just been wanting to play this show so badly just to let out everything that they've been putting into this work. And that's why I love seeing local bands, because you're seeing someone put their absolute heart and soul out on that stage for a moment and just let loose. Speaking
on that, this is great. When you see the national act, understand these guys, they're in the bus every day and they're getting to the next place and they're hanging out by the pool and they're doing it's a lot of work. It's not just hanging by the pool and in the bus.
No, not at all.
You got press releases, you still have rehearsals, you've got a lot of responsibilities while you're on the road. It's not a kickback party at all.
No.
But here's the difference. When we see the band in the club, they've been working their 9 to 5 all day. They got all this aggression in them. They got all this crap built up in them. That show is their release. So we get to see things on a local level in these clubs and these bars here that we will never, ever have the opportunity to see on a national level, because those guys are not dealing with the same type of pressure all week long with this other job. They know their bills are paid. They know their rent's paid. They know everything is good. These guys fighting it week to week are still having to put in those extra 4 hours and overtime that day to maybe dig ditches in mud and dust. And that same guy that had to live and suck in that dust has to sing that night. Right. And whatever he's got left of that voice is what he's got left. Yeah. You've got a guitar player that's been sending rivets into metal all day. His fingers are freaking vibrating. He's got to go in and grab those things. Plus, they're aggravated that they got to sit in that heat, or somebody didn't show up for work that day and they got to put their thing in. Or you got the poor accountant that's been sitting there running numbers all day. The last thing he wants to do now is keep a damn beat behind a drum set. But that is his love. Yeah. So they get into that stage, and we get to see all of that come out of them in the most honest, aggression-fueled, therapeutic way you can ever imagine. And we will never get shows like this out of a national act unless somebody is shocking them, you know, with the taser all the way to that show. And I'm not saying they're coddled. I'm saying the National Night has their own problem to deal with, but their only problem is the show. Yeah. That's it.
No, yeah.
Our local bands have all those other things to deal with.
I know plenty of
so we see the heart and soul right here.
Yeah, I'm not trying to bag
on plus we get to grow with them as well.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not trying to bag on any national musician, because I know plenty of musicians that have toured Europe, toured America, across the country, but still have no car, or still struggle with an apartment. So I know the struggles, I know the different levels of it, but I'm just trying to say that, the whole tagline of the show is interviews with your neighbors, and that's really what it's about. When you go to a local show, you're seeing somebody that lives and breathes your environment, and it's cool to support and hopefully get inspired by somebody pushing themselves.
Well, see, and it takes everybody to get that band there. They'll say somebody like, well, here's Metallica. Okay, now Metallica's got it down. It's a business. They're fine. Their worries are really, that's how we get into the next gig. And hopefully it sounds good. And, the whole thing. They've got that fan base. And he's like, well, you're no Metallica. Well, no shit. But Metallica was no Metallica either when they started. They started the same way, in a garage. They even did the album Garage Days Revisited just to bring that point home. That's how cool they are. They tried to bring it back and kind of inspire the garage bands to get out there and redo it, Yeah. And they even made it sound like it came from a garage, It was perfect how they did. But what I'm getting at is the fact that they all have to start somewhere. Right. If you don't give them that oomph and you don't give them that push, Metallica didn't make it because four guys just suddenly became famous. They became famous because they built a fan base of people that liked their music and people that pushed them and kept showing up for them and supported them. Metallica doesn't go to work every day at the phone company or digging ditches to pay their bills. They rely on their fans to buy their albums and their merchandise so they can pay their bills. Yeah. And that's what we all have to do. But if you don't, but here's the thing. It's not like, oh, we need you to take care of us. No. You're getting something from this too. You're getting a music, a song that gives you a memory. You and I have talked about this many times, Aaron, about how music affects people. But it gives you something in life. Music generates everything, guys. That's the vibration is the heart of life, period. Mm-hmm. Whether that vibration comes from light or sound, music gives you both. So you have to have that support from everybody. You've got to treat your fans wonderfully and give them what they want so they can buy your stuff and come to your shows, and so you can pay your bills too. And that's how it works. Just because a company gives you a contract, that's a loan, guys. That's it's not guaranteed money. You still got to pay them back, and then you get your money off your stuff. So you still have to do your thing. But who wants to see the same act every night? You have got to give them a show. Give them something they want to see. Yeah. And that even goes to your show, even on your video show. It's not a concert, but you're giving the fans the whole other side of that. Yeah. The musicians are giving them this, which is paying them. You're giving the fans a behind-the-scenes view that no one gets to see. And that helps them as well because they get to see both ends of that. So everybody plays a role in this. The fans, the musicians, the promoters, the media people, everybody does. The band doesn't make it just because there's 4 or 5 dudes that can kick ass. that anybody can do that. There's so many bands out there that deserve to be out there that no one hears because they just don't know how to get out there and be heard.
Yeah.
You know, people like you, Aaron, you give them that thing. The fans watch. They give them the audience. You know what I mean? And then the band needs to give them a product that's worth living for and loving for. Yeah. Because, like I said, music is creating memories. We're not just one song. You know, you got that backseat memory, you get the prom night memory, you've got your wedding memory, you've got the first date. I mean, you've got so many things that you can go back to. Even that night your team won the big football game and that song played over the PA, whatever it was, you know. Or hear you, Eye of the Tiger from Rocky. You know, every time you hear that, it gives you inspiration because you think of that memory, you know.
Yeah.
So I know we're everywhere on this, but these are important things that need to go out there. But people like you, Aaron, the musician slash, what do we call ourselves doing this? I know we're entertainers. Enthusiast is the word I like because I hate saying media person because that sounds like paparazzi. I mean, that sounds like asshole. I just love doing this and helping the bands out to give them the opportunity to do things I didn't have the opportunity to do when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know, and I know you've got a lot of that same thing, but what do you even call what we do anymore? What are we?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm a YouTuber, I suppose, because everything I do is based off of YouTube and my show's on YouTube. Yeah, but overall, I'm an entertainer. I'm just trying to entertain people and create a vessel that bands can jump on, and hopefully it works out for everybody in the end. You know, that's what's great about. I feel like it's really picked up steam where bands are realizing, and not only the bands, but people watching are realizing the benefits of the show.
Yeah, and there's so many out there because it appeals to so many different people because you touch everything. It's not just this. You bring them behind the scenes and you give them that.
Yeah, you know, like even with the crowd interviews, I like doing the little surveys. Like this season 2, we started with "Is Facebook Dead?" And honestly, to my surprise,
it's funny.
It isn't.
No,
I kind of was thinking it was, and even recently I did it.
Not at all. Not at all.
I think it's just
that was great when you did that too.
Yeah, I think it's just evolving. It's just how you
we nailed it. Evolving is what it is, right?
It's how you use it and what you want out of it. Even just recently with this last season, I'm about to release on this Friday. I'm releasing the edit of social media used the most. And actually, I apologize. I did this last Friday. I'm getting my edits confused. But I did the social media used the most, and still Facebook. So if you're a band or somebody that advertises out there, and you're wondering,
you just gotta know how to play the algorithm.
Exactly,
that's
exactly
the whole trick to it.
And the other thing about it is people don't like advertisements. So if you can hit them up in a different way that it's not a commercial. And make it fun while make it informative.
Fun. Whether it's commercial or not, make it fun and interesting.
Fun and informative. That's what you're shooting for.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, sell the whole community / scene, not just the one product. Sell it as a whole.
Right.
And give them something to want. Is there anything else we need to cover today, Aaron? I mean, I know I've hogged a little bit of this on you, but I've only been trying to express and endorse what you're doing. You know what I mean? I know I threw a lot in there, but it wasn't by no means to overstep you at all. I just really want people to understand where you're coming from here because I love it. You know, and this is the first time I got to interview. A peer that is doing the same thing I'm doing. I mean, no offense to my other peers, musicians, but Aaron's doing the same thing. He's a musician and he's a pod jock, or not pod jock. He's a YouTuber, right? I'm a pod jockey and YouTuber, but he's a YouTuber. I still think we need a different name for us, something different because we're definitely different. Anybody we need to shout out to? I know we got some thanks.
Shout outs.
Now I just hit him. Now understand, guys. I just saw his eyes rolled in the back of his head. There's like 1,000 things that just went through his head. So he's gonna hit about 3 or 4, and he's gonna tell you he's sorry that he missed you, but he is thinking about you, and I promise he is. And tag yourself on this if he didn't talk to you, and we'll put it on here. So don't worry.
I honestly really just want to shout out to anybody and everybody that has let me come up to them with a camera and be a part of my show. Because I can understand it from their point of view. It's probably the fucking weirdest thing in the world. In the beginning, I didn't have any cards or anything. I just want to thank those original people for having this random fucking weirdo walk up to them and ask them random music questions. Because it helped me and helped the show build so much greater things for the community.
Awesome, brother. You guys, thank you so much for listening. We have had Aaron Acero on today from Azlocal Show. Make sure you look him up on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. He is one of the last diehard YouTubers from this town, I'm telling you. Oh, he's awesome. Okay, guys, if you want to be part of our show here on James C. Stark Radio, please text me or call me at 623-910-0265. Again, that number is 623-910-0265. Or email us at our new email at jcsradio@yahoo.com. Again, jcsradio@yahoo.com. I looked at Aaron and he gave me a funny face. I almost forgot my own damn email there. That was awesome, dude. You rock. Laugh again. I love his laugh. Anyways, thanks so much, you guys. This is also, I wanted to thank my new overseas family over in Lithuania for hooking up with us and being one of our satellites. And you guys know my bloodline goes back. I am one of the princes of Lithuania, so I love them. So from me to Lithuania, ushami lataves. You guys know what that means. I love you guys all. You guys take care. This has been Jim and Aaron from James C. Stark Radio. Having a great one, you guys. Peace out.